guys, today we've got the Melnor XT oscillating sprinkler and the Aqua indestructible metal base oscillating sprinkler. Don't test me, I'll figure that out. So in the analysis of these two sprinklers, we're gonna look at things like durability, cost, and coverage. Coverage, we're gonna look at like how much area does the sprinkler cover? And then we're also gonna look at how well it covers that specific area. So we're gonna test that with a baking sheet, and it's about 1 inch thick. I'm gonna see which one fills up the baking sheet quickest. So that way you know which one of these sprinklers puts out water the fastest. So guys, in terms of durability, they both are about 16 inches long and about just under 2 pounds in terms of the base and how heavy it is. The Aqua is obviously a metal base. I mean, you can tell by their advertising that it's a metal base, but it's actually about just as heavy as this, the Melnor XT. I mean, this is a little bit hard to gauge in terms of the durability of the internal components. They both feel pretty comparable in terms of adjustability. There's a little bit more of a catch when I go to adjust the Melnor than the Aqua. The Aqua is a bit smoother. I mean, maybe a little bit, but the tips on the Melnor have a lot more flexibility than the Aqua that's plastic all the way up until the tip. As you can see, this plastic housing. Now, I mean, time will tell in terms of which one lasts longer in terms of the durability of the nozzle tips. Another durability thing that's really important in my opinion is the filtration, the water filtration tips that come standard on both the Aqua and the Melnor. As you can see, the Aqua fitting is metal here, whereas the fitting on the Melnor is plastic. So another cool durability ensuring piece to both of these oscillating sprinklers is a nozzle cleaning tip that comes standard on both. Basically what you do is you just pull off this little end cap and then poke this little really fine tip into these little holes. If you've got any sediment buildup or anything made it through the filtration at the head up here, if it made it through and it's gunking on it up right here, well, there's a way to get it out. I've got an old sprinkler that didn't come with that, and I'm always looking for small little things that'll clean it out. Now, I will say that the Aqua is a whole lot more accessible than the Melnor. The Melnor, I basically have to use this little, like a Phillips head screwdriver to get it off. And then, but it's the same, works the same way. This one's a little bit more flexible. It's like a soft plastic, whereas the Aqua was a hard plastic. Not sure that that will have a significant impact, but just a heads up there that this one does feel like it's got a little bit more of a wiggle to it. But they both basically work the exact same, but cool that they both come with it. All right, guys, in terms of cost, this is basically a wash. They're both $19 and some change. I think the Melnor might be like $19.97 and the Aqua is like $19.47, so a difference of about 50 cents. So this is a really cool comparison because you're not comparing cost too much. You're really comparing how good of a sprinkler it is because they're the same price. All right, guys, so now the fun part, or the part that most of us probably care about, which is coverage. Now, these are both oscillating sprinklers, so they're both gonna function pretty similarly in the way that they distribute water. And they're both gonna cover probably a rectangular portion of your yard. Now, the differentiating factor between these two is how much area they're going to cover, and then some of the functionality in terms of how they cover that area. I'm going to tell you what Melnor and Aqua claim to cover, and then we're going to put that to the test. I've got some yardsticks right here that I'm going to put out, and we're going to measure and see truly how much they cover. Now, there's going to be a few things that probably influence that. It might not be 100% perfect because different homes have different water pressures, and there's different factors in terms of wind and things like that are going to impact how far your water is going to go. But this should be a good test, and it'll be a great test to determine which one covers more between these two sprinklers, because my baseline or the differentiating factors are going to be the same, because I don't see any storms coming, so I don't expect a whole lot of difference there. All right, so Aqua claims that their oscillating sprinkler will cover 3,500 square feet. The functionality in terms of coverage for them really is limited to how far this will, the oscillating portion will go. So if you want to change the coverage pattern, you're pretty much limited to this portion right here, which determines how far left and right that, or forward and back, depending on how you're looking at it, the oscillating portion turns on the sprinkler. And the Melnor XT claims to cover 4,600 square feet. Again, we'll put that kind of roughly to the test, but 1,000 more square footage of coverage with the Melnor than the Aqua Joe. Same functionality in terms of coverage here. Again, how far this is going to twist this direction and this direction, just like with any other sprinkler. What's really cool, and I hadn't really seen this before till I got back on the market for one, is the functionality in terms of changing the nozzles. So if you pull this down, you can see the impact that that has on the nozzle tips. And the way that that works is like if you're looking at it kind of like a football field or soccer field, whereas the Sun Joe or Aqua Joe, and the Melnor have the ability to shrink that field like this. The Melnor has the ability to expand and contract that coverage area as well. So you can really get fine-tuned on your coverage, which is really cool and something I hadn't seen before. But let's get to cracking and put these things to the test. All right, guys, I'm gonna pick a middle portion of my yard and throw these down here. All right, guys, I got my hose ready full of steaming hot water, and I'm going to put the Aqua Joe to the test first. I'm gonna see just how much it actually covers. This is actually covering a little bit more than I thought it was, so I'm going to pull it more towards the middle of the yard. Yeah, and it's hard to see the actual coverage of this, so I've got some orange landscaping flags that I'm going to put out here to show you where I see the last droplet hitting. So I've gone ahead and marked out the area of coverage that I see with these yellow flags. I guess orange, they're still kind of hard to see. So just looking at the spray pattern itself, it looks pretty consistent across all 16 nozzles. But there is a good bit of spray between them. So there is actually, I feel like the whole area of coverage is getting pretty well soaked. If you can see here, there's, a good bit of spray across. And the coverage here is wide open. Let's go ahead and throttle it down. See just how controlled you can get this here. Oh yeah. Very controlled, except, you know, obviously with a little bit of wind, you're gonna get some overspray. Guys, I'm absolutely drenched. Just hit that subscribe button, just strictly off my sheer determination and dedication to this, please. So guys, I've got this covering about 65 feet in length and about 35 feet in width. It comes to roughly 2,200 square feet. I don't really know how they got 3,500 square feet, but that's what they said. I'm getting 22, so take it or leave it. I mean, I feel like I've got good water pressure. I've tested it before in my house. So yeah. All right guys, so I just finished up with the Aqua Joe. Now I'm rolling over to the Melnor XT. Same exact spot as where I was running the Aqua Joe, so we'll get a good idea of coverage differences. And again, I got this one wide open, just like I had the, just like I had the Aqua Joe. I mean, guys, right off the bat, I am touching concrete on this side and I'm touching concrete way over the concrete on the other side. That's pretty incredible, actually. We're hitting concrete here. Pretty far along, too. So guys, just like the Aqua Joe, pretty good coverage across all. This one has 20 nozzle heads as opposed to the 16 that were on the Aqua Joe, but pretty good coverage. The Melnor and Aqua Joe are hitting about the same mark in terms of width on the front half of my yard as well, so I'm not going to move that. It was honestly, I saw a water droplet hit like right there, so going to leave that one in its place there. The same deal with the back half of my front yard, side closest to my house. I'm seeing water droplets hit just about where I put the flag for the Aqua Joe, which is pretty interesting that they have the same length of coverage. So the furthest water droplet I see over here is sitting right about there. And obviously you can see these water droplets hitting on this side of the sprinkler as well. So it's at least getting to that portion over here. Did the same exercise we did with the Aqua Joe and really throttle it down and see just how dialed in we can get this. Pretty comparable. The portion of this that I'm most excited about is seeing how this width adjustment works. As you can see, I'm getting some waste water, I guess, on the driveway. That's just going to evaporate. That's wasted water. So what I'm going to do is try and turn this in. See if I can, yeah, it's popping in like that. You can see. Let's see if I can get it off the driveway. All right. Oh yeah. Same deal on the other end. Let's try that. Oh, wow. That is narrow. So guys, I've got this about 55 feet in width, and same deal with the Aqua Joe, about 65 feet in length. That's bringing it to just over 3,500 square feet. Considerably more than the Aqua Joe, but a little bit less than advertised. See, man, these guys can get some funny numbers sometimes. I don't know how they're coming up with it. So guys, now that we know which sprinkler covers the largest amount of area, now we're gonna look at which sprinkler covers that area the quickest. So I've got a 1-inch thick baking sheet. I'm gonna turn both of these on and see which one fills up this sheet the quickest. All right guys, first up is the Aqua Joe. We're gonna keep the same order as the last time. I'm gonna put these sprinklers in the exact same place for each test and see the rate of coverage of each. All right guys, so it's 10:15 a.m. We're gonna see how long it takes this sprinkler, the Aqua Joe, to put out about 1 inch of water. All right guys, so it's becoming pretty clear that this is gonna take forever if I wait for the whole pan to fill. So I'm stopping it right at an hour, and we're gonna measure which sprinkler puts the most amount of water in that pan in a given hour. Can't be here all day. So it's 11:15, and now I'm gonna cut off the Aqua Joe. After an hour, the Aqua Joe put out about exactly a ½ inch of water, just a shade under that ½ inch mark. So guys, now time to repeat this same rate of coverage test with the Melnor XT. I am going to adjust the width of coverage slightly to match the Aqua Joe so that it's a fair comparison. You're covering the same square footage, but which one covers that same square footage the fastest. It's 11:21, and now we've got the Melnor rocking and rolling. All right guys, it's 12:21. I'm going to cut off the Melnor, and let's see how it compares to the Aqua Joe. Pretty tough to see here, but it is just about exactly the same as the Aqua Joe, maybe a shade over a ½ inch. And I actually did spill this a little bit when I was trying to level it out. So, I mean, it's pretty dang close, but maybe give the edge to Melnor, just because I did spill some, but all in all, pretty close. So guys, the TLR assessment of this is that cost is a wash. I mean, the difference is 50 cents. The difference comes in durability and coverage. Durability with the Aqua Joe, obviously probably a little bit better because it has that metal base, but they both seem pretty structurally sound, and they both come with those cleaning tips that are nice. You know that they're built specifically for that nozzle tip, so you know you're not going to damage anything as long as you hold on to those. Definitely don't lose it either, because I found out I forgot to put it back on and water just shot out the end of the sprinkler, so definitely do not lose those. But in terms of coverage, I think you could see from the assessment, the Aqua Joe gets demolished by the Melnor. The Melnor covers over 1,000 square feet more. They're both going to be less than advertised, which is annoying. But realistic expectation is that the Melnor is going to be about 3,500 square feet, whereas the Aqua Joe is going to be about 2,200 square feet. Rate of coverage, basically the exact same. I did, again, spill a little bit of the Melnor water, but when I went to measure, they were the exact same. So you can kind of safely assume that the Melnor was putting out just a little bit of more water, but not a massive amount of difference there. I mean, so what would I buy? I mean, they're both 20 bucks. It's not easy come, easy go around here, but 20 bucks is not a huge deal breaker. So if the Melnor craps out, it's not a big deal. I could just get a new one. The durability, the metal frame for the Aqua Joe isn't really a needle mover for me. I'm going with the Melnor every day. So same price and 1,000 more square feet coverage, I'll take it. Guys, thanks so much for checking out this week's video. Again, having a blast with you guys in the comments. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. Continue commenting, letting us know how we can improve and how we can give you guys the best information to make the best purchase you can do or the best project you can do. Let us know if we're missing something. Let me know if I missed anything with this video. If there's anything you would have liked me to cover, I can answer in the comment section pretty quickly. Usually try to do it as quickly as I see it. So if there's any other questions that you guys have, don't hesitate to throw it in the comment section. But if you're not a subscriber and you want to learn a little bit more about lawn care, plant care, and the right tools for the job, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But as always, make sure you're checking out thelawnreview.com. That's our meat and potatoes. That's our mothership. That's really the beginnings of all of this, is thelawnreview.com. We've got hundreds of product reviews, DIY guides, you name it, on our website. So check us out there. But also check us out on all the different various social media platforms. Again, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, you name it, we're on it there. So just check us out there as well. But until next time, keep cutting. We'll see y'all again.